What is up, guys, and welcome back to the video. And Halloween is coming up, so I decided to make this list, and that is 10 horror films you must watch before Halloween. And let's get straight onto the list with number 10, Alien. This classic science fiction horror film was only 3 points away from receiving 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. Not only did the critics love it, many fans thought it was an incredible movie. It won numerous awards, including an Academy Award for Best Visual Effects and a Saturn Award for the Best Science Fiction Film. Even though the movie came out in 1979, it is still highly praised and is considered one of the best horror films ever. In the movie, the crew of the commercial starship Nostromo is awakened from their Cairo sleep capsules halfway through their journey home to investigate a distress call from an alien vessel. The story really begins to pick up when the crew finds a nest of eggs inside of an alien ship. An organism from inside an egg comes out and attaches itself to one of the crew, which is what causes him to fall into a coma. Alien Covenant will be the second installment in the Alien prequel series and the sixth installment overall in the Alien film series. This movie is scheduled to be released on August 2017. Number 9, Trick or Treat. This movie is perfect to watch right before Halloween to get in the spirit of the holiday. What makes this movie so interesting is that you get to see Halloween folklore come to life in the modern world. This film focuses on 5 different stories. A high school principal who has a secret life as a serial killer, a college virgin who might have just found the perfect guy for her, a group of teenagers who pulled a mean prank, a woman who hates the holiday but her husband is obsessed with it, and a mean old man who comes face to face with a demonic supernatural trick-or-treater. A common element that ties all of these stories together is the presence of a mysterious child trick-or-treater wearing orange pajamas with a sack over his head. He is always making an appearance in the stories whenever someone is breaking a Halloween tradition. In October 2013, the director and writer of the movie officially announced that there will be a sequel. Number 8, It Follows. This is a supernatural psychological horror film written and directed by David Robert Mitchell. Some people consider it one of the best horror films ever made. Many critics thought it was an amazing film because it was so different from all the other horror films. It Follows is about a teenager named Jay Height who sleeps with her boyfriend for the first time. She learns that there is a fatal curse that is passed down from victim to victim via sexual intercourse. She is plagued by strange visions, and Jay can't help but feel like someone is following her. In the beginning of the movie, her friends don't believe her, until they soon begin to see phantom assassins. Jay and her friends must find a way to escape the horrors before it's too late. Number 7, Poltergeists. This horror movie was directed by Tobe Hooper and written by Steven Spielberg. The trilogy revolves around the Freeling family who are stalked and haunted by a group of ghosts. These ghosts are attracted to the youngest daughter, Carol Ann, because they believe that she will be the one who will help lead them into the light. They communicate with the family through the television. At first, the ghosts are actually really friendly and playful, but all of that changes as soon as Carol Ann goes missing. The spirits become evil and they terrorize the family in many different ways. Finally, Steve and Diane decide that it's time to turn to a parapsychologist and eventually an exorcist for help. This movie received an 88% on Rotten Tomatoes, but sadly the remake that came out last year didn't do as well as the original one. The Poltergeist trilogy collected a total of approximately $132 million at the United States box office. Number 6, The Conjuring. This supernatural horror film was directed by James Wan and written by Chad and Carrie Hayes. What makes this movie so scary is that it was actually based on a true story. The movie takes place in 1970 and it's about 2 paranormal investigators named Laureen and Ed Warren. They are summoned to the home of Carolyn and Roger Parrott. The Parrott family is experiencing increasingly disturbing events in their farmhouse in Rhode Island. Another movie that you should watch for Halloween is a sequel of The Conjuring, which came out this year. The Conjuring 2 is about Laureen and Ed meeting a single mother named Peggy Hodgson who claims that there is something evil in her home. The couple begins to believe in her story when they see her daughter showing signs of demonic possession. These horror films will scare you senseless, so make sure you don't watch them by yourself. Number 5, The Amityville Horror. There are 2 different versions of this movie. The original one came out in 1979 and the remake came out in 2005. This film is based on Jay Anson's novel, which came out in 1977. The movie is about George and Kathy Lutz, a young married couple who recently purchased a home on 112 Ocean Avenue in Amityville, New York. Their biggest mistake was moving into a home where murder had been committed a year before. Flies appear out of nowhere, and the pipes and walls begin to ooze blood and slime. After the family is terrorized by supernatural forces, they realize that they need help. The Lutz family calls a local priest, hoping that he will be able to exorcise the evil spirits. Number 4, The Babadook. This psychological horror film is definitely something you should watch on Halloween night with your friends. Even though the movie did not earn a lot of money, the performances are still praised by many people. The director, Jennifer Kent, did an amazing job, and everyone loved the direction she was taking the movie and the screenplay. The movie is about a troubled widow named Amelia, and her husband had a very violent death. Her son Samuel believes that a monster is coming to kill the both of them. Later on, Amelia discovers that her son is actually telling the truth about a monster that entered their home through the pages of a children's book. The reason why so many people enjoy this movie is because the plot is so unique and is something that you really don't see in other horror films. Another reason why many people like it is because the Babadook actually relies on horror rather than cheap jump scares. Number 3, Friday the 13th. This is a famous American horror franchise that consists of 12 slasher films, a television show, novels, comic books, a video game, and tie-in merchandise. The original film came out in 1980, and the reason why it was created in the first place is because Victor Miller, the creator, wanted it to be successful as the movie Halloween. The movie revolves around the fictional character Jason Voorhees. When he was a young boy, he drowned at Camp Crystal Lake due to negligence of the camp staff. The plot of the movie is about a group of teenagers who are murdered one by one while attempting to reopen an abandoned campground. The next installment of Friday the 13th is set to hit theaters on October 2017, and it will introduce long-lost members of Jason's family. The newest movie will be an origin story, but it will be one that no one has ever seen before. Number 2, A Nightmare on Elm Street. This supernatural slasher film was written and directed by Wes Craven. Then you should make sure that you watch all 9 films before Halloween. What makes these movies so scary is that the main antagonist is Freddy Krueger. He is a former child killer who kills teenagers by stalking them in their dreams. There is nothing in this world that is more terrifying than a man who is capable of killing people while they are sleeping. His motives were to seek revenge on their parents who had burned him alive. The original film came out in 1984 and received a 94% of Rotten Tomatoes and made a very significant impact on the horror genre. Many critics praised the film's ability to transgress the boundaries between real and imaginary. A remake of this movie came out in 2010, but it was nowhere near as good as the original one, which is why it only earned a 15% of Rotten Tomatoes. Number 1, Halloween. Halloween is an American horror franchise that consists of 10 films, novels, comic books, merchandise, and a video game. The original movie came out in 1978, and it focuses on the fictional character of Michael Myers. When he was only 6 years old, he brutally murdered his 17-year-old sister. He was locked away in a mental hospital for 15 years. While being transferred for a court date, Michael Myers escapes by stealing a car. He returns to his hometown and looks for his next victim. His psychiatrist suspects that Michael is about to do something very bad, so he decides to follow him back in Haddonville. The budget for making this movie was only $300,000, and it ended up making $70 million worldwide. This scary and suspenseful movie set the standard for modern horror films. Well, that's it for this video, guys. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more, because there will be more content coming. Also, I really suggest you guys watch one of these 10 movies, and why not watch all 10 before Halloween? I'll see you all in the next video.